What's going on, guys? This is William. Today, I bring to you my guest. His name is Mark Gallagher. Why am I talking like this? I don't know. Okay, I'll stop. Uh, Mark Gallagher is my guest today. He is the owner of AmeriKick Martial Arts in Northeast Philadelphia. It's a Kempo Karate school. He's a 6th-degree black belt in Kempo Karate. He's also a brown belt in Jiu-Jitsu. He's He's been training for 29 years, guys. Okay, 29 freaking years, man. That's a long time in martial arts, man. This dude's great. No, really, he is great. He's an awesome dude. Glad to have him on my show. We talked about Kempo. We talked about teaching experiences. We talked about belt ranking / promotions. What makes a martial artist. What makes a great teacher. I forgot to freaking ask what makes a great student, of course. Oh well. We talked about you getting off the fence if you're listening and you haven't joined your martial arts school yet. Come on, man. What are you waiting for, man? Get the training. It's good for you, man. It's good for your digestive system and good for your immune. All right, I'm joking. But seriously, it's good for you. It's awesome. We talked about AmeriKick Cares Foundation. It's a foundation him and his wife is running. Awesome people, man. This is great that he's doing this. This is a foundation that he's doing for those that have special needs, from kids to adults, where he's giving free classes every week for an hour for these individuals. And it's fucking awesome that he's doing this. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy something or enjoy the episode in general. And yeah, please welcome my guest, Mark Gallagher.
Yo, what's up, Will? How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for joining me on the show.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So for those of you that don't know this man, he's awesome. I know him by sparring with him at Balance Studios. We used to spar, and he's fucking phenomenal at sparring with.
Thank you.
I got an image of you giving me a gut check, and I loved it because you really caught me good, and it shows in the picture. But anyway, can you give a short description of yourself? Like, you're a black belt, and I'm just not sure of the exact title. I don't want to mess it up.
Sure. I've been training martial arts since '91. Started with Kenpo Karate. That's my current profession. My wife and I, we own AmeriKick Martial Arts up in Northeast Philadelphia, which is a Kenpo Karate school. About a year ago, I was promoted to 6th-degree black belt in Kenpo. Been training with Rick and Phil, with you, over at Balance Studios, probably since I would say around '09. So I've been with Rick and Phil for about 11 years, 12 years almost, and I hold a brown belt under them. With AmeriKick and with karate came boxing, kickboxing, eskrima, Filipino eskrima, if you're familiar. So I've been doing a lot of stick and knife fighting.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
So that's stick and knife fighting, the eskrima, the arnis system, the modern arnis system is probably the most popular in America. Goes hand in hand with Kenpo. It really does. The two systems have meshed for decades.
Right. And you run your do you run your own school, the AmeriKick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Alicia runs the business, the program. She's the backbone of everything. I got the easiest gig in the world. I just teach classes.
Alicia, assuming your wife, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So part-time janitor, full-time teacher.
Sounds good, man. How long you been doing that? Running your business?
I've been teaching since '95. Started late 8th grade, going into the summer before high school, and that's it. The rest was written.
What made you want to teach?
First, the passion and love of martial arts. I just love martial arts, as you do, and that's why we're here talking together. That's how we met. That's our relationship together. I just love martial arts. I would say early, my immature reason was, I don't have to work at anything else. I don't have to try, and I don't have to do college. I don't, yeah, I'll be, but I think the more mature, learned reason that is just absolutely in my heart is it was given to me from my teachers.
Right.
And their passion was given to me. Their knowledge was given to me. And now I absolutely say it's the easiest thing in the world. So as a young kid, it was a very immature, like, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. But as an adult, like, I just love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love learning. I love teaching. I love sharing. Every martial arts room you go into, just everybody's got the same vibe. You know, everybody's looking to improve themselves physically and mentally. How often do you come across a training class that people are in a bad mood?
Right.
You may get people in a bad mood from previous experiences. Where they at 1 hour later after they hung out with their teammates and sweat and got humbled or humbled someone? Where they at an hour later? They're feeling good. And
Right.
whatever bad mood they had earlier, it's gone. You know, so I get to be surrounded by positive, hardworking people on the daily.
Right. That's awesome, man. What makes somebody a good martial artist?
Define good.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I do. Yeah, you question me my own question. Uh, what makes somebody a martial artist?
What makes someone dedication?
Dedication.
Dedication and understanding what they're training for.
Cool.
Are you training for life? Are you training for competitive purposes? Are you training for that hypothetical one day that may never happen? What if I get attacked? Are you training for meditation? Are you training just to like shut the world off for an hour at a time? And maybe you don't feel like pumping weights. Maybe you feel like hitting a bag. Maybe you feel like wrestling. You know, what are you training for? And then I think that's going to define good. Are you training for competitive purposes? How are you training? And then
Right.
how are your results in competition? I think that would determine good or not.
Right.
Are you training just because you love to train? Well, then I think simple dedication, show up to class and do what sensei says,
Right.
would mean good. But dedication is going to be the key word there, whether it's training for a lifestyle or training for a belt or a title.
Right.
I think training for a colored belt as a goal could be flawed and misunderstood.
Right.
I want to become a black belt. For what? For the simple title, or knowing that to become a black belt in system, fill in the blank, is going to require lots of hard work. So if that's your goal, I want to earn a black belt knowing the journey that it's going to take. Or I want a black belt because I want a certificate to hang on the wall. But for what? You know?
Yeah, I hear that. How long did it take for you to get out of that color belt system mindset? You know what I mean? Like, I remember when I first joined in as a white belt at Balance Studios, I was like, oh, look at I want to see the belt, I want to see the belts. And then I saw the white, blue, purple, brown, and black, and I said, okay, all right. And then it was like the first few months, I was like, holy fuck. And then I was asking around, how long it take you to be a black belt? And I was just all nosy, trying to figure out everything. And then I found out 10, on average, 10 to, it ranges because you got, I forget his name, from UFC. He has 3 years. I don't know if you remember his name. He's bald-headed. He's from Hawaii.
I believe I know who you're talking about.
I forget his name. Yeah, it's slipping my name, but I mean, it's slipping my head. But anyway, I was so obsessed with it. I was so like, I want that blue belt. And then it was like over time, I was listening to different podcasts and different people speak, different black belts speak, and they're like, don't worry about the belt, man. Just keep training. Just keep showing up. Keep doing you. But what would be you just kind of touched on it, but what would be your advice on, I don't know if you had this mindset before, but what would be your advice to yourself or me, that mindset, basically? The person that has that mindset who's stuck on the color system.
Well, I think you got to understand that every martial arts system has different ways of promotion. You know, I think the jiu-jitsu system is a tough one for people to grasp onto, because why did he get his blue belt in 6 months and I've been wearing a white belt for 2 years? Why did he get his black belt in 4 years? A tough one to grasp onto. But I think you got to keep it real. With jiu-jitsu, I compare more to boxing. You're going to learn the basics in both sport. And then you're going to go into the ring and you're going to execute. And one person is going to whoop the other person's ass. And that's it. It's as plain and simple as that. Whereas the karate system, I've always compared a karate black belt to like a high school or a college diploma, because it's very, very different. You don't battle your opponent for a karate rank. You do X amount of time, you memorize the book, and then you pass your exam. And I think that's a very, very minimum requirement. And here's why I'm going to relate it to a college diploma. I go to college and I want to be a doctor. And I ace my exam. I never miss a minute of class. I never miss a day. So I take every minute required. I get every answer correct on my exam. Tomorrow, I'm a medical doctor and you need heart surgery. Am I your doctor? No. Why not? Why not? I have the same title as the other guy who's been a surgeon for 20 years and has saved hundreds of lives. I have the exact same title he does, but why don't I have the credibility? Because I don't have the experience in the field.
Right.
So in my opinion, the karate black belt is a diploma. It's an education which allows you to now practice in this field. Going forward, you're going to be judged on your title. So it's now up to you. How good are you at obtaining that title?
Right.
Or is it just a certificate on the wall?
Right.
Now that's been around in America since the 50s. That's what people know about. People understand, whether they've done it or not, people understand the karate promotions. Now you bring in jiu-jitsu and it takes over the world overnight. And it's like, hold up. How come I don't get a belt every 6 months? How come I don't get a stripe? How come I don't get a promotion? Well, that's not how it works. That question's never been asked in boxing. Boxing's been around 10 times longer than karate in America. But the rank has never been given out. It's just recognition. And that's where I think jiu-jitsu is very, very similar to the advancement in boxing. You're going to advance by just housing your opponents or not. And there is a book to memorize. Don't get me wrong. There is a book to memorize in jiu-jitsu. And who advanced you? Did you do the basics, or did you just show up to class and you're a monster and you win every tournament you go to? Or do you know Jiu-Jitsu 101?
Do you think that jiu-jitsu or Kempo Karate or all of the martial arts systems, do you think it would be better without the belt system, like boxing? Or do you think it's necessary for its own thing or whatever?
Well, again, I think it is what it is. Why we could come up with 10 different reasons why you would pick this martial art. Generically speaking, if you pick up boxing, let's say your goal is to get into the ring. Let's take aside, no, I just box because the cardio is great. Take that out for now. Generically speaking, I'm training boxing to get into the ring. Generically speaking, I train karate for the purposes of self-defense. So you already got a different mindset. I'm going in here to go hurt that person.
Right.
I'm going in here to survive this fight. So where does the aggression come in that I'm required to fight my teammate to advance in level?
Right.
Now, yes, you could do competitive karate, so different mindset. Yes, you could do karate just for physical fitness, because if you do any physical activity, you're going to get good exercise, good cardio, blah, blah, blah. But the initial mindset of karate is self-defense. So how do I advance in a self-defense system? Memorize the book.
Um, did you ever want to fight? Uh, what do you call it? In combat sports?
I did karate tournaments forever. I did a handful of amateur kickboxing when MMA became popular. Probably one too many concussions in my life by then. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have a very hard time agreeing to like be elbowed in the face.
Oh, yeah, yeah, uh,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You're right about that. I don't. There's some. I guess because I'm a newbie, I'm still like I'm going in 3 years, and well, I should say 2.5 because COVID kind of backed it up. But technically, I started 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. But I was so excited to fight, and the elbows, the knees, kind of had me like, I don't know if I want my eyebrow cut up, but it still sounds
Yeah.
fun. It still sounds fun, and that was being unrealistic, of course, especially since I'm gonna be 32 soon, and I have my own little lifestyle of living with my family, and now it's like my head was over there.
Beautiful, very cool family, by the way.
Thanks.
I see all your social media stuff, like beautiful family and very, very fucking cool.
Thank you, man. Uh, Shit about that. That's a whole different thing there too, about me like posting my family. But that's a whole different conversation. Of me in the beginning of my when my daughter was born. I was like constantly posting her on social media. Just obsessive parenting thing that you want to show the world, I guess. But anyway, uh, yeah, I wanted to fight and I got over it. Like I was just so I don't know. I don't know what happened. Did you ever have that experience besides the concussion stuff? Like, did you ever like want to fight, but then you were like, nah, maybe I shouldn't. But was because the karate experience it was safer from the elbows and whatever. Is it?
I think it was time. I think it was just a different time.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a lot of my competition all through the 90s. Like it was great, just traveling all across the country, international and stuff, just everywhere. In the 90s, concussions didn't really exist.
Right.
You got your bells rocked. If you
Right.
didn't fall asleep, take a round off. All right, get back to work. It was just same in football. In football, when people got their bells rocked,
Mm.
you good? Yeah, coach, I'm good. Take a play off. Get back to work.
Mm.
And it was just different times. So like early mid 2000s, some of those just regular sparring matches in the class, them shots hurt a little bit more,
Right.
and I think I was smart enough to just cut it off. So when I spar someone like you, we're doing not much more than love tapping each other, nice whacking body shots, always a good time.
Yeah.
But I'm sparring you. Not only am I thinking about just the rest of my life, I'm still a baby, man. I'm not even 40 years old yet. I got a lot of life to go. But I'm also thinking about you and your kid. You don't need to be all punch drunk in the head when you got young children at home, and it's different. It's a different time. And I think people are much more conscious of it now. And if someone gets their bells rocked, it's not take a round off. It's, yeah, maybe take a week off.
Right.
Relax, let everything recuperate. And a week, if you got a headache, maybe you got something wrong. And it's a good thing you didn't do another round because you got a headache 1 week later. And I think when MMA came around and I was like still young enough and eager enough to do it, I think I also had that thought in the back of my mind, like, for what? You're probably just going to do a handful of amateur fights. Like, just have fun teaching, live through other people. By all means, I'm not retired from stuff, but I don't need to get kneed in the face neither.
Yeah. Did you have an interest in MMA in general, or do you just like you like to just watch it, or would you participate in it if it was if there
Oh,
was
I
like some
still do
type?
I still do like MMA sparring rounds
Yeah,
with
that's
like
what I should.
teammates.
This is a better
Yeah,
question. A better question.
yeah.
Do you spar in MMA?
Yeah, absolutely. And I also find it uh, I bite my tongue when I say this. Not, I find MMA easier than boxing and kickboxing,
Interesting.
or even just straight up jujitsu.
Interesting.
In boxing, you're not allowed to hug. So if you want to like take a break, you can like hug your opponent, but the referee's gonna break that up 2 seconds later. You're not allowed to. In kickboxing, the hug is encouraged. So good luck hugging a kickboxer and planning on taking a break.
Right. He's taking you down.
In MMA, if I get tired, if you're schooling me on the punches, I may get like a little takedown and get an offensive mount and just be able to chill, catch my breath for a minute. Maybe you even get on top of me and I could pull off some defensive jiu-jitsu and chill, catch my breath for a minute. So I find that one. I find that much that you could find safety in an MMA match. However, them elbows and knees and the grinding heads, like it's nasty, bro. It's nasty. Don't get me wrong. I find it way more dangerous, but a bit easier.
Right. That's interesting you say that.
I've sparred with someone trying to kill me. You know?
I'm
sparring with friends. I'm always sparring with you and our teammates and our boys and our girls, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because you know Becca, right? Becca Evans?
Most likely.
She used to come spar with us. She's pretty, like, she's like our height, basically. She's tall. I can't. Anyway, I sparred with her in MMA for the first time, and I was just like dead fucking exhausted. And I think it's just that thing where your body's not used to the new element of movement. So you got people who just do jiu-jitsu, they'll come to Muay Thai and then they're tired, you know, or Muay Thai or going to jiu-jitsu, you're fucking super tired, whatever. But anyway,
that's a lungs.
Yeah, I felt like it was so much more dangerous MMA wise because I actually injured myself. I tweaked a couple things, my toe, because she had me against the wall and I was trying to turn. And I guess because it was my first time being wall planted and I didn't know what I was doing really. I was just trying to wrestle with her arms. But it was just, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, that's the worst thing in the world. And if I have zero MMA training experience, it's up against the wall, up against the cage, and any of the people that I train with, they take advantage of that right away if they can. If you don't know what to do, pinned in that corner, life is terrible.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to move. You can't breathe. Claustrophobia kicks in. Anxiety, panic kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where MMA can become extremely scary. I always tell that to my students. If there's one thing I cannot teach is tough. Can't teach tough. Tough is built through experience and experience alone.
Yeah.
You could teach skill. You could teach improvement. You could teach game plans, ideas, and strategies. Can't teach tough.
Right.
You experience tough.
When you run your business, do you get anybody that wants to do MMA, like that want to go in that route when they join your? I don't know if I can ask this question, but I think you get what I'm saying.
If anybody's doing their homework, no.
Okay.
And if somebody didn't do homework and they come to us with those goals, they're finding out that they're in the wrong spot.
Okay.
I stopped gearing my training towards competitive purposes. I've been teaching for a very long time. You know, I've been teaching for about 25 years. So I have what I feel is most important, what is least important, what needs to be spent most time on, least time on, what the majority of the people want, like blah, 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 blah. I feel like I've learned to adapt to the masses.
Right.
And a lot more people that don't want to fight, but do want to train.
Right.
And then the people that do want to fight, you have your handful of good fighters, and then maybe you get your diamond in the rough. and now you have your future in the fighting world. I looked for that diamond in the rough for a very long time. Had a couple, lost one this way, that way, you know, like you lose people over the years. But the people who just wanted to train were still there and were always there.
Right.
And now jiu-jitsu took over the world.
Yeah.
And there's some damn good jiu-jitsu schools in this city.
Right.
And there's some really good MMA gyms in this city. And there's only a handful of people that really want to do it. And they're going to find, if somebody wants to get into an MMA ring, they're going to find other people with dozens of fighters that are all on the same page there. Where when you got dozens of people at a time in my place, they just want to work out. They want to spar. They want to be physically fit. No. My kids like competition.
Right.
You know, we have like a competition class for our children. My adult class, very similar to like the classes that we take. Let's come in and work out. There's a lot of people that we train with that do compete, but everybody that we train with is like, why are you training? Because it's Monday at 12. That's my group of people. Why are you training? Well, because it's Tuesday at 8 o'clock and that's what we do.
Right.
You know, so people aren't coming to me and Alicia for competitive purposes. Yeah, plenty of other places in the city for that.
Right. All right, so talk to me about Kempo Karate, right? That's your main. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I have very minimal knowledge with a lot of the martial arts, including Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai. I'm still trying to learn all of them. But can you, if I came to you fresh, and I asked you, what is Kempo Karate? Like, would you be able to describe that to someone that is just hearing about it for the first time?
Generically, the art of striking. It's a striking art. A little more in depth. It's a much newer martial art, based off of like original martial arts, Shotokan, karate, you know, kung fu. Your Saturday afternoon kung fu flicks. I want to challenge your sensei. I want to challenge your gym. And it was always Japan versus China. Which one has a better system? The Kenpo enthusiast will say, we're the original MMA. We're the original mixed martial art. Kenpo does not claim to be an original martial art. It claims to be an adaptive martial art. Bless you. Excuse me.
No, you're good.
It claims to be an adaptive martial art because when Kempo was designed, it said, stop arguing China versus Japan. Stop arguing straight line attacks versus circular angle attacks. They both work. Take a little, oh wait, you know what? There's Korea too. And they do stuff. You know, oh wait, you ever heard of boxing?
Yeah.
You know, so Kenpo adapted to other striking martial arts and took pieces of each one of them. So it's a striking art that doesn't claim to be its own.
Okay.
It doesn't have any type of like Brazilian jiu-jitsu added into it. There's old school Japanese jiu-jitsu incorporated. There's a handful of judo ideas. Now, I'm not going to say Kenpo claims to be Japanese jiu-jitsu or judo, but what I will say is it is a striking art. And if you grab me, well, then I might do some small circle Japanese jiu-jitsu to attack the wrist, to attack the elbows, to set up strikes.
Right.
I will take an idea from judo, offset them, take them off its axis to set up strikes. Whereas judo is going to take you off your axis to throw you. Kenpo might take you off your axis to strike you. Hopefully ending with the same result, you on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Kenpo is an adaptive striking martial art. And the founder of the martial art says himself, long after I'm gone, if you're not adapting to current martial arts, you're not doing Kenpo. Hence why I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. it'd be silly of me as a martial artist and as a business owner not to know the art.
Right. When you get people coming in, and like I said, like you said this earlier, that you get people that just want to train in that field. Do they know about Kempo, or do they just want to train in general? Like they come in
Some
to
of them
see.
do.
Yeah.
Some of them do. And this is where my wife Alicia is amazing. And she just sells the hell. I mean, who better to sell you than your wife? You know? But nah, this is where Alicia is amazing, because people will ask, what do you guys teach here? And Alicia will simply say, we're a Kenpo school. My husband, Mark, he's a Kenpo black belt, but he's been training martial arts for almost 30 years. So with your Kenpo training, you're going to get some kickboxing flavor. You're going to get some Jiu-Jitsu flavor. You're going to get some stick and knife flavor. And that's it. That's what we do. You're going to learn Kenpo, but you're going to learn his.
Right. Because everything you've learned throughout your martial arts career, that's what you're implementing with your business.
If I teach Jiu-Jitsu, I'm not teaching a lot of offensive Jiu-Jitsu. I'm teaching more defense against Jiu-Jitsu. Since I have the knowledge in it, I can teach the attacks, the defenses. So what I'll do is I'll say, all right, if somebody knows Jiu-Jitsu, this is what they want to do to you right here. So this is how we defend that, so we could stay with our boxing, so we could stay with our striking.
Right.
We do a lot of sprawls. Like every one of my students is familiar with sprawling and why to sprawl.
Right.
Because our Kempo ain't going to work so well when we're laying on our back.
Right.
And if we're not training Jiu-Jitsu every day, we need to stay the hell off our back and get back to our feet. So I train a lot of defense against Jiu-Jitsu.
So you're focused on...
Keep that a secret.
So we're focused, on the style that you're training in, right? So if you're training in this striking art, that's what you're focused on. And to go against anyone else that is using a different style, like the ground grappling, that's what you're defending against. And it's kind of like a MMA aspect to it. And this stuff, the Kempo that you teach, it's self-defense too. It's a stupid question I'm asking just to clear that up.
Yes. Same thing. The mentality from the start is defense. Any karate class you take, any striking class you take, the very first thing you're going to learn, step backwards and block.
Right. The
very first thing you learn in a jiu-jitsu class, what the hell do I do when I'm on my back?
Right.
Shrink. There's always defense first.
Yeah.
After you learn how to regard, it's on.
Right.
After you learn how to sidestep and counterattack, it's on. But the first is always going to be defensive.
Right. I'm very defensive.
Unless you're training boxing. What's the first thing you learn? Step forward and jab that motherfucker in his mouth.
Yeah. Or counter to step in and jab him, right?
If you train for an MMA match, are you training step backwards and block, retreat? Right. No, that's part of the game plan, but you're training. Go take that ball out.
So what would be the benefits of someone going to your school?
The very first thing I promote is fitness. The very first thing I promote is fitness and lifestyle.
Okay.
The karate you learn from me, the boxing, the wrestling, anything you learn from me or the other guy down the street doing his system or the other, whatever, none of it works if you're not healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to train for a fight, you better be damn healthy. If you want to train for that hypothetical, what if I get attacked one day? You better be ready to rock now. Or if you just want to train for a lifestyle, would you like to be an old person at a young age? So number one is fitness and lifestyle. And then aside from that, I'm just going to give you my heart and soul, and you're going to be able to throw your hands and you're going to be able to fight. Number one is here inside, the healthy lifestyle. Number 2 is stick with me, and you could scrap. Whether you have to or not, you'll be able to.
Right. Before martial arts, did you notice, what were the improvements you noticed once you started martial arts?
How much do you improve from 9 to 10 years old? So
Yeah,
before martial arts, it was Michael
that's true.
Jordan and Ninja Turtles.
Right. You're right. I forgot you started.
So
I
I
I
put
want
the
my
two
mindset.
together. I thought I was Michael Jordan dressed up as a Ninja Turtle in class.
That's funny. Um, okay. So I'm just because I'm coming from my own background, and
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
started a
have,
lot later in
yeah, a
life.
lot later. So I was just trying to ask a question for the people that haven't started martial arts yet, and they're in their older 20s or around their 20s. Uh, what would you say changes their their characteristics? I guess. What would you say changes their characteristics? Like having a healthy lifestyle, so to speak.
Well, you just said that you'll notice a lot of people that start training in martial arts at a later age. Let's call later age in their 20s,
Mm.
um, or their 30s or their 40s. You will notice an immediate change in eating habits, drinking habits, just because they're surrounded by those people, and the people that they look up to and admire do it. So what do you do to people you look up and admire? You copy. you
Right.
know
Right.
um, you find a different change in attitude. um, if I had a stressful day, an hour later that stress is gone because I got physical activity done. I released adrenaline. I got over anxiety. I got over stress. Now that stress may come back. Most
Mm.
likely it will. We all have daily, weekly, monthly stress. But for an hour at a time, for 2 hours at a time, it's gone. And that's a huge impact on your later day. The lifestyle changes for the better because you pick up good habits. You pick up good habits from the people around you. You become more humble, because somebody twice your size whooped your ass. And they did it in a way that it's like, oh my God, I don't stand a chance. And they didn't even try that hard. You get humbled because someone half your size whoops your ass. You get someone the same size. You learn that there's so many different people that you're not on their level, but you want to be. So you become humble, not humble to the fact that you now look at everyone else different. You become humble to the fact that you look at yourself different. I thought I was, but now I realize that I am.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's the change in life that you might be looking for, that you might be asking for there. You just surround yourself with hardworking, positive people. You become that
Right.
by
Yeah.
default.
Do
The
you?
instructor has a lot to do with that. We share a great instructor in Rick.
Yeah, we do. He's
There's
awesome.
nothing phony about the guy. He is. He really is.
Yeah.
Nothing phony about the guy. He's the biggest, baddest, nicest guy in the room.
Yeah.
So what does that do for a normal sized person like me and you? The
Right.
biggest, baddest alpha dude in this room is clearly the most polite. Okay, I guess if I pissed him off, I would feel that big bad guy hurt me.
Yeah. It's very humbling. When I go in there, and there's a shit ton of men, and they're all huge and older than me, whatever, or just bigger, just got more experience. They're all kicking my ass, of course. And then you look at Rick, Rick, and how everyone he's awesome. He has this, I don't know, he has this animal spirit because he's called the animal, so I stick with that. I just call him the animal all the time. But I definitely look up to him as a person that I'm inspired by to not be just like him, but to what is he doing? Oh, I see what he's doing. He's a great family man. He's fucking taking care of his body. He's fucking taking care of himself. Like, he's doing everything. I'm like, damn, see, that's the lifestyle that I want to live my life as. But of course it takes work.
Yes, it does. It
And
appears to be very easy. It appears to be very fun. In a sense, it is both, but hard work is the bottom line to have that easy, fun life.
right. Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you feel me
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
He's living easy. He's having fun, but that living easy requires a lot of work.
A lot of work, a lot of experience. That's what I'm trying to figure out for myself because uh, I want to teach eventually. I love teaching. Like, I don't know why. I have this thing. It's been this way since 6 months as a white belt. I wanted to teach. I'm like, why do I don't even know what I'm doing that much with as a white belt, but I still want to teach people. Like, every time someone looks confused, I'm like, hey, you all right? You want me to you want to go over what we just did, or we can ask this person, whatever. But I'm always leaning towards trying to help somebody, and I find troubles with that from personal experiences because there's a battle going on in my head that I need to relax, chill back, be patient as a student, and keep learning still. And I guess this is a question for you. When do you know that you're ready to become a teacher in your
Um,
experience?
well, you asked me earlier about, you know, what made me want to be a teacher, and I basically said passion, you
Hmm.
know, and you obviously have that same, at least a little bit of that same internal passion. You never know when you want to be a teacher.
Hmm.
You just are. You know if you want to pursue it or not. So
Right.
you got that inside of you, just that natural. You look confused. Would you like some help? There's a lot of times that I feel, and I'm a teacher by profession. There's a lot of times that I see someone in class like look confused, and I'm like, it ain't your place. It ain't your class. You're a student in this class. Now,
Yeah.
someone asks me for help. Big difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes Rick will say to me, you know, can you go? Yeah, of course. No problem. No problem. But you have it inside of you. Obviously, a teacher is a teacher. You know, it's like asking you, when did you know you want to be a parent?
Hmm.
Forever. It's there. You know,
Right.
you're asking me, when did I want to be a teacher? How do you know? You got it inside of you.
Yeah. You just feel it.
Yeah, it's there. It's
Yeah.
there.
I feel it all the time. That's why I'm asking. I'm like,
Teaching takes a lot of patience. Teaching takes a lot of patience. So you have to be willing to understand that not everybody gets it like you do, that not everybody gets it like the person next to them. Some people learn more visually, some people learn more kinesthetically, some people learn because they watch it, because it's done on them. You know, everybody learns like so different. So the hardest thing of being a teacher is the patience level. But I think if you're passionate about teaching, for you to get to that patience level, man, it's got to be a lot. It's got to be a lot to test a teacher's patience, because the frustration never gets there. And
right.
that's what I'm talking about, that internal passion that you might have because you just simply want to. Who wants to take on a task and just fix it? Well, if
Right.
it's something you're interested in, I do.
Hmm.
You know, a mechanic will see like a broken piece of something on a machine and twitch until somebody says, can someone fix this? I can.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
whereas I look at a broken piece on a machine, I'm like, call somebody to come fix that.
Yeah. You said something earlier, and that's me all the fucking time, and I really try my best to, because I don't like stepping on anybody's foot. I don't like to. If someone else is teaching, so to speak, in a class, and someone else looks confused, and they're teaching, so that teacher is helping someone else out, and they need help. I'm like, I want to help them, but I'm like, I'm not the teacher. Like you said earlier, this is not my class. Uh, what advice do you have for people like myself who have that twitch to go like when there's a teacher there present.
Number one, understand your instructor.
Okay.
Would that offend your instructor?
Okay.
Because everybody's going to have a different case. You know,
You're
would
right.
that offend your instructor? Number two, don't just go help. Offer help.
Right.
Would
Right.
you like some help?
Mm-hmm.
And number three, this is just what I've learned from day one of teaching. Until you're the man, you always defer to who told you.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever offer help in class, or if help is ever asked of me, you know, I'm rocking a brown belt in class. Sometimes white, blue belts, they say, hey, we're stuck here. Can you help me? I will always say, and this is what Rick says to do. And this is what Rick taught me. And Rick says, do this now. So I don't teach my lessons or give my advice. Well, Rick said, do this, but here's what I would do. Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. Stop that. That is disrespectful.
Yeah.
My opinion. My opinion.
Yeah.
So if you feel, you specifically, you, anybody listening, if you feel like you would like to help somebody, ask, would you like some help?
Right.
And then defer to who taught you.
Right.
Because it ain't your class, it ain't your idea.
Right. What makes someone, because I don't want to say good teacher or good instructor, but you know what I mean. Like because you got these. I've noticed there's two different kinds of teachers. I don't know if there's many more. There's probably more, but the basic teachers that I see is either the one that's strict and very, very efficient and will say, like, will be super on top of you, everything you're doing wrong. And then the other one is just chill, and they're working with you, and they know that you're not doing it right, but they're working with you. There's this, you know what I'm saying? There's different types of those different teachers that are a little too hard, but those people, we still need them in a way. And we need all people that know how to teach in general. I don't know how to ask this question, but without offending anybody. But
no, I got you. And
thank you.
My wife's over here talking under her breath, reading my mind. She knows exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay.
That's the student. What is the student looking for? Some people want that drill instructor. Some people want that chill, laid back. Some people want someone to yell at them. Some people want someone to do this and analyze every one of their moves. Some people want, let me go back to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan would not have to teach you a damn thing. Michael Jordan would say, follow me, do as I do. Some people just want that person that could jump through the roof, spin on their back, and spider guard and backflip, and I don't know, pick a sport. Some people want that top athlete and then just, oh my God, I want to watch them and do whatever they do. I don't give a shit what they say because they're clearly the man. You know, what do you want as a student? Who inspires you? That's a good teacher. That's it. If the person inspires you, that's a good teacher.
So as long as the teacher inspires you, that's what makes them good. It's interesting.
Done. End of story. End of story. If you motivate me to get out of my house and go work out and better my life, you are doing your job correctly.
Yeah.
Now, are you feeding me bullshit though? Are you telling me like, oh, this is a move that'll work, or, you know, I've learned this and that, and are you feeding me bullshit or really doing things?
Right.
And then I think what makes a specific good teacher is relaying a message. And then that covers the teacher that you're looking for. How do I relay my message? Do I relay it through physical demonstration? Do I just word it amazingly? You know, look at some boxing managers out there. Some boxing managers out there are old, brittle people that may or may not have boxed in their younger career, but they know every single thing upstairs, and then they relay the message to the fighter. Somebody else may be holding the mitts because my 70-year-old arm ain't strong enough or fast enough to keep up with you holding mitts. But my 70-year-old brain of just knowledge knows everything. So I can verbalize everything you need to know.
Right.
Relaying the message
That's cool, man.
defines a good teacher.
Thank you. Uh, so last question on the schools or whatever. What would you say to someone who's on the fence about joining martial arts? Like myself, I was on the fence with a lot of things. I wanted to join for Wing Chun. I wanted to join for different martial arts. I wanted to do karate as a kid at 11 years old, but my dad didn't want me to do it. He wanted me to do boxing. What do you say to someone who is like myself, who wants to do a class and doesn't know where to start? They just want to do some type of martial art. Let's say they want to try yours. What would you say to get them off that fence? I don't know if that's
I'll
a
tell you exactly what Alicia says. When someone calls up and Alicia answers the phone, she says, do your homework, visit a couple different places, find the spot you love.
right.
That's it.
Simple.
Do some internet homework. Call people that you know. Everybody knows at least one person that trains or has trained in some form of combat sport. Everybody knows at least one person. Call that person, call those people, look up your internet reviews, and then call the places, meet them face to face. If you're interested in prices, ask them about prices. But prices are secondary. Prices are absolutely secondary. Finding the place that you like is first. Finding the instructor you like is first. Then you're going to find out that you're going to fall in love with the system. And then you're going to realize that the price doesn't matter, because if it's worth it, it's worth it.
Cool, man. Do you guys
You
offer?
know? So
Yeah.
do your homework. Do your homework and visit a few different places. Unless you walk into one spot and you fall in love, stay there.
Yeah. Cool. So let's talk about your AmeriKick Cares Foundation. Uh,
My man.
what got you started with that? Like, what,
um,
how did the idea come to mind? And tell us a little bit about the foundation.
God, I'm gonna keep being repetitive with the word passion.
Okay.
Alicia and I were very, very passionate about the martial arts. Um, we've been toying around with some ideas of doing a nonprofit probably since early 2019. Had a conversation with Alicia, had a conversation with our accountant. How do we get this done? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And my brain rattled for 7, 8 months. Who do we help? Because I thought of, maybe doing a shelter. I thought of feeding kids. I thought of everything. I thought of it, and every time I thought of this group, I just felt like I was turning my back on everybody else. And then the next day I say, no, you can't help everybody. And my brain rattled for a very, very long time. And we have a handful of special needs kids and adults that take classes. We have a handful of special needs brothers and sisters that sit on the sidelines when their siblings are in class.
Right.
One day, Alicia and I, we looked at each other and said, why don't we cater to our neighborhood specifically? We can't cater to the world. So let's bring it down to our neighborhood. First. What can we do that won't cost anything to start up? We thought about building a shelter. That's a lot of money to build a shelter. We can offer free martial arts to kids and adults with special needs, and it doesn't cost $1 to start anything. Boom. That's our idea. It's a 100% free program. Uniforms are included. Any type of equipment necessary is included. No down payment, no tuition. We ask one requirement: stay consistent with attendance. Take advantage of the program. If somebody starts to lack on attendance, then we're going to put them to the bottom of the wait list, and we're just going to bump somebody else in. And the people we put in the program since January, we're about 2 dozen. We're about 2 dozen right now. We're at about 2 dozen right now. But the goal is to end on a wait list. About 2 dozen and about another dozen on the wait list. So the goal is to raise funds, hire employees so that we can do 2 classes a week, 3 classes a week. and eventually make it a 6-day week program, just like our martial arts program that we offer every day. But volunteers can only do so much. So the future goal is to raise funds, to bring in 1 or 2 employees so that we can make it a full-time program and still keep it free for anybody involved.
Cool, man. What type of martial arts are you guys training in? Is this Kempo Karate? Or is it different style?
Very basic karate. We're doing very basic karate. If you could take a beginner karate class, a beginner kids karate class, that's really the format of what we're teaching. It's also brand new. We have people who have been in the program. We're in October now, so we have people who have been in the program for about 10 months. And we've kept it a very, very beginner karate program. You know, we have our youngest in the class is probably 8, 9 years old. We have a couple adults in like their 20s, 30s, 40s. Mentally, a lot of them are kind of on the same level. You know, we have one of our kids with autism, one of our adult with Downs. They're very much meeting in the middle as far as speed of the class, comprehension. But let me tell you, this is the greatest decision we've ever made in our lives. You asked about being a teacher. It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
I've never felt rewards like this.
Yeah.
I get smiles from students every day of my life. These smiles are different. I get hugs from families every day of my life. These hugs are different. And knowing that we can just give these parents and caretakers an hour off to just kick back and not do anything. The majority of special needs events are once a month, which include hands-on from parents or caretakers. So we're offering once a week, sit down, don't do nothing, we got this. So the appreciation we're getting from the parents in the special needs community, these are just feelings that I've never, ever got before. And it's the greatest thing in the world. And we want to expand this program from once a week to daily.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
As a person who wants to do his own foundation someday, for people like myself, I don't know. I'm getting emotional because I appreciate people like you, man. I have a special, I have a special needs uncle myself, and people like you who are giving back and that are doing great things in the world. Those are people I look up to, and I want to do something like that someday. So, man, my hat's off to you. I'm like fucking about to cry and shit.
My man.
I'm sorry, man.
If he's close to Northeast Philly, send him over.
Yeah, man, it's great that you're doing this, dude. And it's funny because I liked it without realizing that I liked something that you're doing. I don't know. I think you sent me the invite to like it.
Facebook page.
Yeah, and I felt horrible. I was like, why didn't I know about this? Like, what it's just, it makes me reflect on things, social media, how much we take the damn thing for granted. And stuff like this that you're doing is so beneficial for us. And this is the stuff I'm looking for. Stuff like this where you're reaching out and you're helping those with special needs, or any other foundation that's giving to others who need it, man. Instead of looking at this, being a part of this negative world where you're arguing and fighting and you're just wasting so much time, precious time that you could give to other human beings that need it. Sorry, I'm just losing words, but.
No,
I'm sorry.
You're touching my heart, brother.
Yeah, my fault, man. I'm losing myself right now.
I got a little joke I make with the kids, but here's kind of the bottom line with the foundation. A joke I make with the kids is we live by the Spider-Man rule.
Yeah.
You know, we live by the Spider-Man rule. With great power comes
responsibility. Right. Great responsibility.
Meaning,
whatever.
If you can do it, require yourself. You're not required. If you can do it, require yourself. And That's why Alicia and I started the foundation. We could.
Yeah.
We had the resources, we had the availability, we had the time, we had the space, we had the desire. So we required ourselves to do it.
Right.
You know, and that's I think the world could be a better place if we all take on the Spider-Man rule.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, man. That's really, really awesome.
And
of
I
you
think
that
the
you're
world's
doing that.
awesome. I'm not one of those, oh, the world is shit.
Yeah.
Everything is the world is awesome.
For
There's
sure.
negative things.
Yes.
There's shitty things. There's good people. There's a lot of good people.
Yep.
Tons of good people.
Yeah. Sorry if my
But I
pessimistic
think
side
if we
came
all
out.
follow the Spider-Man rule, we're gonna go from an A to an A plus. You know.
For sure, man. That's what I'm trying to do with everything I'm learning. You know, this is the whole reason why I did this podcast, is to put people in a spotlight like yourself, and people who made a change within themselves. Like if you ever struggled like me and you flipped it and said, you know what, it's time for a change, and you made a difference, and you know, and or in your shoes, you felt like, hey, I have this power to make a difference, and here you go, you're just doing your thing with your wife. Hats off to your wife as well, who is taking care of a lot of things. My wife is on the same level, by the way, so I don't know, women who they have that thing that we don't have. As I don't know if it's just a man thing, but we are more like the doers, and they're more of the I can't explain it, but they know how to do things that we can't do.
They're smarter than we are.
Thank you.
They're smarter than we are.
They're smarter than us, pretty much. Yeah, we're freaking, we're like caveman. We just know how to operate with the tools that we have. I mean, most men anyway. Some men are on another level. But yeah, man. So
I can't thank you enough for bringing that up, man. It's very important.
Yeah,
very
man.
important to us, and that was very kind of you to bring that up.
That's cool, man. Again, I appreciate you doing this. Is there anything else about the foundation that you want to touch base on to inform others, like a website you want to show them to, or is it just a Facebook?
I mean, we're very, very easy to find. The AmeriKick Cares Foundation.
Probably the easiest would be Facebook right now.
Yeah, Facebook is absolutely the easiest way to find us. You could Google AmeriKick, you know, AmeriKick Philadelphia, karate in Philadelphia. It's gonna bring you right to us. You could probably Google my name, Mark Gallagher, AmeriKick, but Facebook is definitely the easiest. AmeriKick Cares Foundation. If anybody's interested, if you have kids or adults with special needs, shoot us a call, send us a message. Calling's the best way. You know, messages, awesome, best way. But anybody has any kids or adults with special needs, we would love to accept them to our family. Ages 7 and up. Yes, ages 7 and up.
So starting at 7 and going up to any age. Cool.
Yep, and we would love to accept them in our family. No strings attached. Everything, beginning to end, top to bottom, on the house.
What part of Philly is this surrounded by?
Northeast Philly.
Northeast Philly?
Ron and the Boulevard. If anybody's familiar with Ron and the Boulevard, we're at 8025 Roosevelt Boulevard.
That's
about
your
a block. It's about a mile north of Cotman.
Cool, and that's your school, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool, man. I don't know if you have to go, but I pretty much asked all the questions I had. If you want to just shoot the shit, or you got to do things, you got to do your thing.
Oh, I know you got class, right? You got a 12 o'clock class, don't you?
No, not today. I fucked that up. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays only. But
I'll be getting back there soon.
Yeah.
I'll be getting back there soon. You know, we were shut down for 4 months.
Oh,
so,
word.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah.
Like, how was that challenge of your business being shut down for 4 months, and now you're trying to come back? Are you open? You're open now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was extremely challenging. Our doors were locked for 4 months. Lost 75% of our student base. We had a good 25-30% that stuck with us. And I mean, we closed on Friday. What was it, like March 11th, 12th, something like that? And we were 100% virtual the following Monday, 2 days later. You know, so we offered virtual classes, online training daily for 4 months. And that kept a good amount of students to allow us to reopen the doors. You know, we've been open since July. Philly's very strict on rules right now with the amount of people in class. But what we are doing, we added, you know, a nice little time slot in between every class to completely sanitize the room. We're limiting the amount of people in the room. Masks are required. We're just doing our thing, building up, recovering. But I'm here talking to you. If I was still in that hole real deep, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So
Right.
I had an hour off to chill at least. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
things are definitely good. We're getting back to where we were. I'm gonna get back to balance. I just actually talked to Rick a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna get back to balance probably like January.
Cool, man. I hope to see you in your class, because it's been my new thing now, because I'm unemployed right now, and I'm just trying to take advantage of the time that I have to go there and train, because it's like the only thing I got that keeps me sane besides meditation and other things that I do. But yeah, man, that's cool that you're coming back. And I don't know when they're gonna do sparring. By the way, I want to spar, man. Mask on, mask off. I don't care. I miss the. I just miss stand up. You know what I mean? I love rolling in jiu-jitsu, but
we could get together and do that. Seriously.
Oh, cool, man.
So we'll talk off here. We could get together and do that. Absolutely.
Cool. Is there
I
anything?
want to thank you for doing this. I saw you put that out there on Facebook. You know, I thanked you 100 times yesterday, and it's just really cool. Not only for me, but I saw a few other people respond. Just that you put that offer out there. It has been very rough for a lot of us, and I count my blessings, because as bad as it was for us, it was worse for others.
Mm-hmm.
Some people didn't recover. We recovered, and we're still recovering. Some people didn't recover. Some people had it a lot worse than we did.
Right.
So I definitely count my blessings there. So if this is beneficial for anybody's business out there, take advantage of it. And Will, I told you, it's just so cool what you're doing, man, to put me and offer anybody else the platform. One person might hear it and it might make a huge difference.
For sure,
1,000 people may hear it and it might make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I saw a couple of people comment. Get all over that, man. It's so cool. Thank you.
No problem, man. If you have anybody in mind that, you know, wants to join in to do the podcast, anything to help them, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with this podcast, because it was started off with just sharing philosophy and talking philosophy, and then now I'm trying to like expand and see what I could do to make a better, bigger impact, and to get more people to come together instead of going against each other. Like I even went off and said, hey, if you guys want to talk politics, I don't like politics that much, but hey, join the show. Let's talk red and blue, and let's even do that. I was getting so, because I want.
That's risky, bro.
I know it's risky, but I was like challenging myself to just do it to see what happens. Like I'm a daredevil in a sense. So I was willing to go to speak to someone, because I'm always encouraging conversation. None of this arguing over whose side and that side. It's just, let's communicate, dude, and let's figure this thing out together. You can have your side, but let's try to work a way to do what humans are good at. Like, we're good at talking to each other and figuring shit out. Like yourself, you're good with your wife and whoever else is helping you to work this foundation and operate your business and all that. Like, that all comes together with all of us together. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is stuff that I learned personally, and I've been having issues because my own personal issues, but filmmaking, I wanted to be a filmmaker. That requires a lot of hands-on. People have to want to work together, and I've been doing a lot of stuff like that. It's a whole different conversation, but altogether, I learned overall that humans are so awesome when we work together, man, and that's what I've been trying to focus on. is find a way to find
Absolutely.
people. Yeah, to find people like yourself who are willing to work with me on, like, to join me on the show. Let's just talk, man. Just have a conversation, good spirits, and just fucking release it into the world. And whoever listens may have what do you call it? Something like someone might want to join your school, or somebody that has a kid or whatever. They know someone with special needs. They may be able to help them join the foundation. Stuff like that. That's what I want to do, man. I want to be part of this group of.
Hey, all that would be icing on the cake. If anybody just enjoys martial arts and want to hear a little background between the two of us, that goal accomplished for me. And anything else is icing, bro. For real. I had a great time hanging out with you today.
Cool, man. I appreciate you being on. And tell your wife.
No, all the thanks goes to you. All the thanks goes to you.
Oh, no, man.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's cool. And tell your wife she's awesome. I know she's behind the scenes, but she's awesome and you're awesome. Both of you are amazing. Keep doing what you do, man. And I'm looking forward to working with you, man, in terms of sparring, because I miss getting punched.
Yeah, please. Just hit me up anytime and we'll compare our schedules, please.
Cool, man. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Anybody out there looking for martial arts, ask yourself why. Go from there.
Cool, man.
That's what we were talking about. Why? What do you want out of it?
Right.
And then if you know what you want and why you want it, there's your journey. There's your martial arts journey.
Figure out your why.
Figure out your why. I like that too,
yeah. Did you hear her say that?
Yeah. That's a good one. I'm like looking for other things to say before we wrap it up, but that's pretty much it. All right, we're going to wrap it up, man. All right, peace.
Let's get back to life, brother. Let's get back to life. Well, thank you, brother.
No problem, man. All right, take it easy.